What is going on, everyone? Riddict here, and welcome to Off the Shelf Airguns. Today we're down here on the range with the Diana Bandit Black. Yeah, we did a review on this one in the past, other videos as well. But as always, I like to come back, revisit things, see where they're at. Are they performing like those original videos, or has things changed? So let's get into it. All right, we are all set up here on the range with the Diana Bandit Black, ready to rock and roll. But before we do, I want to talk about something. Since those initial videos, I have experienced an issue with this guy. All right, and I'm going to go over it right now. You take this off, I already have it disassembled. This pin right here, at one point, did come loose. And when that pin loosens and it starts to slide out, you won't be able to fire the gun. So I did have to push that back in, and it has stayed ever since. But it could also be from getting jostled around when I'm riding around the side-by-side or anything like that. It could be a number of things, but just know that this pin right here, on mine at least, has come loose and kind of slid out of place, preventing the gun from being fired. So if you experience that, that's what's going on. And in order to take this apart, this is held on with this one single screw, okay? So your grip and everything, it just comes right off like this. And you want to make sure your safety on your trigger is kind of in the middle, or else it won't come off. It'll catch on that safety. That comes right off. And then you have access right there. Okay, so just know that. I just wanted to point that out because mine has experienced that only once, and ever since I fixed it, it hasn't done it again. And it really didn't do it for quite a while after having it. It wasn't like I just got it and then a week later it happened. It happened quite a while later. In your case, your mileage may have varied. Maybe yours happened earlier on or right away. I don't know. Just remember that whatever mine's doing isn't necessarily what yours is going to do because of the good old quality control. Although the Diana brand is usually pretty decent with quality control. So I'm less worried about them than I am, say, Crossman. Okay. And let's go ahead and get this guy back together so we can get started on our revisited review. And so here we go. The Diana Bandit Black. We'll go over it one more time here. I really like this one because it is PCP. As you can see right here, there's your fill gauge. Small little tank, but lasts quite a while for what it is. 22 caliber. Does have this moderator on the end. This thing is super quiet. It's super backyard friendly, guys. Really backyard friendly. I did put a scope on it. This is just a basic budget Barska scope. Okay, right there. And nothing special or fancy about that. Safety, of course, right here. All right, cross bolt on the trigger. And that is your bolt right here. And you have the option of using a magazine. I think it's 8 shots, 6, 7, 8. I don't remember how many shots it is. Or the single shot tray, which I have right here, which is what I'm going to be using today. I'm using the single shot tray today. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? Let's get started. Get the single shot tray going. Get that installed. There we go. And today we will be using the JTS Dead Center. And these are the takedown wad cutters. I like a good wad cutter every now and then. I don't think I've really used these too much yet on the channel, so we're going to use them today. The old takedown wad cutters. So, without further ado, here we go. Start out with the old tried and true pating. So there's your pating. Let's go ahead and do, let's do the old black diamond out there. Now at this distance, we're about 40 yards from the black diamond, where I have the table set up today. Obviously, we can go way back to about 100 yards. We've done 80 to 100 yards on here. Anything from 100 under, I can do. But where I'm currently set up, based on where the black diamond is, the black diamond's at about 40 yards, okay? So just keep that in mind with what we're doing today. Ponk. It's so quiet. Super mega backyard friendly, guys. You're gonna have nothing to worry about with this as far as backyard friendliness goes. What about a kernel clink? Can we get at least a little clink out of it? Oh, that was a good clink. That was a good kernel clink there. All right, one more. And we're gonna go with that saw blade over on the right. Patong. Nice little patong there. All right, folks, we've got the Wheeler trigger gauge here. I want to do a little trigger test and see what we get. I know it's always been great and has not changed, so let's see what we got here. Yeah, literally 10.3 ounces. Check that out. 10.3 ounces, folks. It's a great, great trigger. So you definitely want to be careful too, because just touching it and it wants to go off. So be careful, especially if yours is that light. All right, folks, we are all set up to do some accuracy with this guy at 25 yards. And I have the chronograph set up at the same time that we're going to do this. So we'll get our chrono numbers, but at the same time, we're going to see if the power drops, because it isn't regulated. So you are going to lose power as the air goes down, right? So we're going to see exactly what we're doing as far as that goes, okay? Here we go. Let's go ahead and get started here. All right. Well, it was a little low.
693, 211.
693, she's screaming right along for this little guy. I gotta bring that up a little. Bring that up a little bit.
$684, 209.
684. Okay.
$643, 196.
Okay, it dropped a little bit there.
$626.
Okay, it's dropping.
191.
We got a little bonus pating out of that one. It's grouping real nice though. I love this thing. Man, look at that.
613, 187.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely dropping power now. After we've used so many shots in the opening of the video and whatnot. Man, look at that.
597, 182.
We're just making that hole bigger and bigger. All right, one more shot. We have dropped power quite a bit. Oh,
500.
There we go.
92.
Good shot to end on.
180.
592. So we have dropped power by quite a bit, but that is to be expected considering it is not a regulated PCP. Now, where are we at as far as air? We're just under half. So we're about, well, actually a little more than under half. We're almost at about a quarter air left, in the green that is. All right, so we started out at the top. We did, what, 5 or 6 shots just doing some plinking. And then we did a couple with the trigger pull test. And then obviously here with the accuracy and chronograph numbers. So yeah, not bad. You get a lot of shots out of this for as little as this little tank is. You get a lot of shots out of it, especially being 22 caliber. And obviously we're getting almost 700 FPS when it's at its peak power. And so, yeah, that's not too bad for this little guy at all. Now, since this is a revisited review, what has changed about it? Basically, nothing except for that little pin coming loose on the trigger. And other than that, it's performing just as it always does. The Diana stuff usually does perform pretty well. Artemis, Diana, you know what I mean. Different names across the countries and different countries and all that. But they usually perform pretty good. I've never really had trouble with a Diana performing well as far as accuracy, trigger pull, and all that stuff, right? Obviously, there are some times when things can go a little weird, such as that pin. So just be aware that pin could come loose. You may have to put it back in there. You may want to do something even to keep it in there a little bit more secure. Mine's okay. All I did was reset it, and it's been fine ever since. I'm thinking I jostle this thing around a lot when I'm riding around and all that stuff. It could have knocked it loose, but after I fixed it, it's been totally fine. No problems. So just I wanted to point that out because that is something you may encounter with this. All right, but for the price this thing is, super budget friendly, great little plinker. You can pest with this too. I mean, you're hitting almost 700 FPS with a 22 caliber pellet. You can absolutely pest with this. A little bit of pesting, great backyard plinker, targeting, all that stuff. Yeah. Still, even with that little issue, I really like it. I really do like it. If you like this kind of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified when I upload more videos. And with that said, I will catch you all down the road.